Huge. So, oh, I can hear myself on the A. Okay. Cool. Yeah, yeah, I can't hear myself anymore. Alright, so first ban from ParkEs Academy. Probably a Maverick. There we go. The Have Fun's coming from Shady.
You predicted that so well.
And it'd be interesting if we see a Thatcher ban, but we could also see a Capitao, would be my guess. Thatcher or Capitao. Oh, but then the Ace. Okay. So it's going to force teams to run the Thermite if they want to be getting open a lot of this hard breach, and we're probably going to see a lot of the Habana and Thermite combo. Would be my instant assumption, because you can also use the Habana pellets to get into Garage to obtain Garage control, and then you have your Thermite exothermic charges for either for opening the main breach, but then also gives you the opportunity to rotate around and get open the wall from construction to cache, or the wall from the construction balcony into construction. With my coming off, so that's going to make playing that Jaeger with my combo, especially after the Jaeger nerfs, a lot weaker. It's going to make it a lot easier for attackers to obtain control of the garage quickly, but also when pushing areas like blue in the basement, that's going to help them with that very much so. And the last ban's the mirror, so probably a bit of a comfort ban. A lot of teams not really running a ton of mirror. You see a lot of mirror banned at the moment, especially now that Jaeger and Wamai have been nerfed. Because you have that flexibility in the ban phase where even if you don't want to remove the Wamai, you still have other options. But that means both Thatcher and Cade are going to be in play. So we could see some interesting Cade tricking if they're prepared for that. And then we see it, the Thermite and Habana coming out very quickly from Valhalla. Interesting lineup with the Vigil. The Melusi, obviously, a very staple operator. No Zofia, which is an interesting thing to note, but the Sledge and Ash, that's going to be a lot of explosives on the board, as well as the frag grenades and the Hand of Sledge could lead to some lovely kills if we're treated to such a thing by Shady. No sixth bit coming out. So it's going to be the Melusi, Vigil, Mozzie, Smoke, and Maestro on the side of the defense. Potential 2 Nitro cells underneath, so it could be a little bit of a lounge presence. Could be a little bit harder to clear that out if the Mozzie is used in that way. And instantly that is the invitational Mozzie skin on there. The Team Australia, as well as the Maestro. What are the rules on uniforms?
So both the Maestro and the Mozzie are using bad skins.
Yep, thought so.
Yeah.
10 seconds.
That's a nice start from ParkEs Academy. That's the Alpine. That's Alpine from one of the battle passes, right?
It's dependent on how Valhalla care, if that makes sense. Because they
Yeah, it's on them to call it.
If they don't point it out, then you know.
A bomb has been located.
But we're going to see so close to finding the Maestro, but cannot quite land the kill from that angle. Couple shots going to be exchanged. He hit him again, but Maestro's going to squirm away on that 20 HP. Holding on to the rafters. That's a lovely kill coming out onto the Thermite, and a second kill in quick succession. That's Shady, the Sledge off the board before any frag grenades can be used. So that's the Melusi coming in with a double on that one. Vigil, he's looking right at the Habana, but doesn't quite realize it through the barricade, and it's actually with a bit of a horizontal hold that is going to come out from the Vigil and the Mozzie. Habana just debating how she wants to use these pellets to get that garage wall open, but it's actually going to rotate round to the doorway now. No rotation hole in rafters means it's going to be a little bit harder. Oh, and that's instantly the injure coming out onto the Maestro, but they may not realize it. As I'm saying, no rotation hole means that the defenders are saying that they're not going to leave it. They're just going to play their life until they die. But it also means that when they die, like he has now, it's going to require some form of utility out of the attackers to get an opening in. As you see the Ash using her breaching charge very quickly. The EMP coming out, I think that's more just to catch any gadgets in the Melusi charge, which might be on the servo. checking the green box peak. No one currently there. There are a couple shots coming out from the SMG-12 hit from... Oh no, from the P10... The P10 Roni instead. Vigil with a lovely prone angle. He's going to catch Ash, but not quite kill. Volv's very lucky to keep his life in this exchange. Going to reload his launchers. He goes to shoot it down. Not quite sure what he's trying to catch there. Probably the shield, although he couldn't quite do so.
Located a bomb.
One member left, as the other is injured, and in a 1v4 there isn't really any chance he's going to be picked back on. Still afraid of the player in oil pit, but the injury is going to come out. Oh no, he's baiting it out. Misses a couple shots into the smoke, and it's going to be the Vigil who will swing and find the last kill of the round. The question is, do they cool up the skin issue? I mean, I feel like they'll call it at some point, and then does that mean multiple rounds get tracked back?
It'll only be the round that they actually call it. So they have both seen both the Maestro and the Mozzie, and they both have band skins, and they haven't called it at all. They haven't even said, like, by the way, you're using a band skin or anything. They're just staying silent, which is interesting. Because by the rule book, we would rehost right now and they would get that round.
Oh, yeah, I'm like torn here, because like, it's so frustrating that they're not.
Attackers need to locate and defuse bombs.
So frustrating they're not saying anything. But the second round is going to come out, and we continue to see the same two players running these Mozzie and Maestro. Oh, we're going to have to see how they handle with this play now. Although it would be kind of funny if at the end of the half they said, by the way, band skins we use in every single round, we win every single round. That'd be kind of funny. If they if they just claimed, like, called for a 6-0, I would have immense amount of respect for them, because that would be hilarious. Interesting spawn peek coming out here from the Maestro. Looks away just as Shady was coming into possible view. They're going to go very quickly for a top floor clear. Just make sure that there are no roamers left. Maestro just making sure that Rory isn't going to come back, keeping him in dirt. And it is actually the Mozzie and Vigil who are playing like this double roam, and they forgot to take out the default cam in Garage, so Mozzie is aware and he's going to be ready. The pest taken out now, but it'd be interesting to see how this aggressive play from the Mozzie is. He get caught up by the Habana here. Going to take a little bit of damage from the spray. A wonderful shot by Sledge, finding the bullet, the melee hole, taking out Chibiru early on, but Chaotic's gonna find a quick refrag, finding that Thatcher. No Cade in play though, so that, you know, the Thatcher being gone isn't as relevant as it could have been.
Drone ready. Grab the drone, straight shot too.
Thatcher Thermite just gonna be punching the Hatcher a bit, repping the King George charm on Shady. The spawner's now going to rotate around, try and get the kitchen hatches. And we're seeing the push now coming down onto main stairs, just trying to see if they can get that control. But a lovely shot from Mozzie, who's still hidden away by Server. The Maestro now pushing up the stairs is going to find the Ash as she tried to push into bathroom, but Shady coming up behind. He finally got a kill, and that's going to be the refrag coming out. A bit of a weird one. I feel like if Maestro had just fallen back to site, he would be in a much more comfortable position in the 4v2. But you still have that Mozzie who's going to be causing a couple of problems, and I don't think they quite realize.
Recovered the bomb diffuser.
Oh no, they've realized where he is. They're trying to push him out of strip. The question is, can they? He is very low, and it is the Sledge, and so you could see the Sledge. Oh, the Nitro Cell placed on top of the door. That's going to be a little bit of a pain for them to come in, but there we see the Sledge making the holes in the pool wall. The double push should be successful if they can do it effectively, but it looks like Sledge is just backing up and he's leaving. The flashbang's coming in, the Sledge through the hole is going to vault and get the triple kill. The ace is still on the table. he could take this one home in the second round for Valhalla. Just going to drop the frag down the staircase, catch out anyone pushing, and that's a double drop through B. An Inja coming out, and that's Chaotic, finding him through the rotate hole and hiding away in blue, forcing Hibana to push into him. He's in the doorway, he's falling back, he's running up the stairs, but the plant is going down. I don't think he quite realizes this. Probably going to come through the moto hatch right now, but it's closed down. Going to have to come through kitchen or through the main stairs. Looks like he's going towards kitchen, which is a little bit risky, but we see Psycho hiding away behind a minibar in church. Chaotic trying to find him out, drops the hatch. They will know now where he is. And he has the angle on the doorway, so he could see this one as he goes over to crosses to get the diffuser. Base cross onto the diffuser, and I don't think Hibana realizes. Here's the sound, but it's a bait. Baiting out again and pushes very aggressively forwards, but Hibana crouches just under his sightlines and will secure the round for Berserkers. Whew, wonderful round from the Hibana of Psycho, coming in and securing that win in the 2v2 situation. A lovely comeback from a 2v4. But that is a round where, if you're Parksons, you're going to be kicking yourself for that. The roam clear wasn't as effective as it could have been, but they managed to get the job done in the end. Either way, I love bananas. Thank you, Skeeto. Do you reckon Valhalla even know that it's a banned skin?
They should do. They should have read the rule book and they should understand that they're
Attackers
using
need to
banned
locate and
skins.
defuse as many
They should know
bombs as
that
they can.
literally only the esports skins are allowed. Default and esports skins are the only skins that are allowed. Obviously esports contains like the teams and the league skins and stuff. Yeah. They should understand that these skins are actually banned.
Bomb located by attackers. 10 seconds to go. 5 seconds to go.
Why are they talking about apples now?
Attackers are heading out to defuse a bomb.
Anyway, we're going to see the roam clear coming in again from the same, clearing from garage, trying to get that server control first of all. We still see probably the Mozzie and Vigil in the similar positions on master bedroom and main stairs. Oh, it's even playing a little bit more aggressively inside of servers. The wall behind Chaotic being opened up, and he's now in a compromising position, but if they don't re-drone it, they could think it's clear. Oh, no, Zofia was ready, and that's Vors finding a lovely opening round pick. And now going to double push onto this server with the Zofia and Sledge. Oh, and another shot through the box, going to take out the head of the Mozzie. This is a much quicker clear, but I think this is much more down to some fortune and unfortune on the side of each team, rather than some specifically well-executed push on the side of Berserkers. Like, Vors is just finding these kills. Chiburu just chilling in moto. The hatch above him is going to be opened up, and this is like the power of like the Hibana with the reworked gadget. The fact that you can drop 2 pellets on time, like impact trick and kitchen hatch as they have set up here, just isn't as effective anymore. You see the 4 pellets being dropped on, but really as a Hibana, when you see the impact holes, I feel like you should be dropping 2 and then 2 again. Just it takes a little bit more time, but you save so many pellets. Like, he's lost 4 here, but he could have just lost 2 and put another 2 on. The impact economy is a lot harder to manage at the moment. And he's going to drop another 4 on. They have someone watching the angle, but the impact trick could still come out. Vigil did not have another one, so Thermite's going to take a little bit of damage, but in the scheme of things, that is not going to hurt you too much. Oh, the hole above Maestro now being opened up, and it's interesting to see the push coming down from the main stairs. No one currently, oh, no, correction. Hibana is currently sitting on top of the hatch. Maestro taking an aggressive swing onto Zofia, can't quite land the shots, and Vors is going to live, but he's going to fall very quickly afterwards, and a lovely swing from Skeeto, finding 2 before quickly being taken out by Yuno.
Attackers recovered the bomb diffuser.
We find ourselves in a 2v2 once again. Smoke with a very quick shot onto Shady to drop through the hatch, and that's going to be Yuno in the 1 versus 2 in Moto, and they know his position now. So they can play it slow and just wait for him to go and make something happen, and that is a lovely peek from Rory as he runs through the breach. And they're going to find themselves the second round. Sat behind the bomb. That is wonderful. Also, lovely control on the SMG-11. So no vertical movement, just keeping it horizontal, keeping it in line. The skins finally being called out.
That's the call!
Okay,
That's
so
the
they lose that
call.
round, so we're going to have to call for a rehost.
Rehost, indeed.
And that is the round going to be going in favor of Valhalla because of the skins. Now, is it a 3-0 because they ran skins twice?
Well, they only called skins in that last round, so it's only that round that gets called. Which is
Interesting.
dumb, but that's how the rulebook is, and, you know. Big F.
Interesting. Well, there we have it.
Let's go into a little break as we rehost.
I saw you on the road. I was chasing sunsets all alone. The darkness faded, painting goodbye big sky.
What was the band? This were my Maverick Mirror. Yeah. There we go. I got it. It's fine.
I saw you on the road. I was chasing sunsets all alone. The darkness faded, painting goodbye big sky. I'm far away but dreaming of your ocean eyes. I saw you on the road. I was chasing sunsets all alone. The darkness faded, painting goodbye big sky. Far away but dreaming of your ocean eyes.
I mean, rip. just waiting for the switch to attack and they have fan skins again. Coming back in. There we go. You're unmuted again.
And we are back with the postal rehost. I believe 2-1 to Valhalla at this point. So that means that the basement is still an option, and we're going to see Skeeto and will we see Obese Rat back on their signature picks, the Mozzie and Maestro? So let's hope they've both fixed their uniforms. Unfortunate way to lose a round, especially Skeeto after that excellent double swing into Moto when he found it was the Zofia and the Thermite. But it happens. So we'll just have to see how they adapt. They're going back to CC now that it is available again. 2 rounds have passed.
Defenders, protect your bombs from being defused by attackers.
So let's see how they. Oh, double checking skins. Lovely stuff. Oh, it's because he swapped to Jaeger and had a Jaeger skin.
Oh no! That is an ooh, Jesus Christ.
Swapped to Jaeger and had a Jaeger skin.
Oh, he's left. I was gonna say leave it off, but
Yeah, that is wonderful.
Attackers have located a bomb. 10 seconds.
Well, we'll see how they play this 4v5 out.
5 seconds remaining. Attacker's objective is.
Okay, so it looks like it might be Chaotic filling up the mantle of playing inside of Rafters. He thought we meant weapon skins. Oh well. So they do have the player in Rafters still. It is Chaotic playing there. The rotation is absent again. So still keeping strong with their idea, but that's a lovely hole opened up by Zofia very early on. Will be the opening kill onto Chaotic. This round is a bit of a write-off after Skeeto had to leave due to some interesting skins. So it isn't something to worry about too much. It'll be interesting to see how they play out this 3v5, and if they can win it, it'll be a massive confidence boost for them going forwards through this game. We're just making a couple more holes for his team to make use of, and that's the Zofia already pushed up quite far on Rafters' window, taking a little bit of Rory's health there. Someone else playing at the bottom, as Thermite just runs right in. He's unaware of the player underneath him, and that's going to be the Habano finding the second kill of the round. Bit of lag there, spotting the player inside of the rotation, and well, every member is dead, and that's going to be what, a near flawless round. I believe one player lost their life that game, or that round even, but otherwise, pretty swift from Berserkers, and we'll be moving on.
of course the stats thing is still broken. Oh well. Big F.
Nah, no one's just doing anything. That's the real thing.
Yeah, of course. No one died. It was flawless.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, rocking their same 5, going back to basement. See if their roam can be a little bit more effective than it was the last time they went here when Zorbs
Attackers need to locate
was able
and
to find a
defuse the
couple
bomb.
early kills in server and cash. Oh, that's a drone being taken out very quickly, just zooming down the oil pit. So, I mean, it definitely looks like Berserker's in a good position to take this map. 3-1 up already. That means at the very least they're going to have a 3-3 half. 3-3 half on a coast on a clubhouse attack.
10
Because
seconds left.
you'll take
I mean,
those.
it's 7 half rounds, so it could be 3-4.
Oh yeah,
5
true.
seconds left. Attacker's objective is to locate a bomb and defuse it.
I always forget 7 half round. Alright, so the attack coming from warehouse again, going to be trying to clear out the servers. No one currently in there. The Mozzie's coming up to master bedroom again. Chaos are going to need. Do they have some sort of cam they're going to use to try and nitro? Could try and nitro someone underneath, which would be fun to watch at the very least. No, he's down in blue. So they're playing a very much bunkered assault here. The Vigil playing still fairly aggressively inside a pool, but that's more to try and catch someone out if they're asleep. Tomcat has his drone in a position just to find that Vigil. There, they know he's there now, so they're going to be a little bit aware. Habana holding the angle onto bathroom door. And that's the hatch being forced. He's forced back into strip. Be interesting now to see how they decide to push. There's a lot of external walls and doors you can use to get some pressure onto strip. But the question is, how much time are they going to be willing to use up to do so? You see 3 members now pushing in quite aggressively towards him as motor hatch is getting opened up. Couple drones used up as we see Zofia and Sledge holding this pincer angle. Zofia going to take a little bit, taking no damage, but Vigil's going to take a lot. However, Shay will lose his life, and that is going to be a worth trade, even if they find him now, which they will. Maestro is also rotated up at this point. It's a little bit of damage onto Zorz here. Just trying to have some sort of presence. There's a player on the window and a lovely swing from Maestro with the Elder, making great use of that gun, taking out the thermite. Oh no, he's found another on stage. They're feeding themselves into him one at a time. There are 2 members now trying to hard push him. Zofia and Thatcher, the last 2 alive. The double concussion mine, but they still don't know exactly where he is. Skeeter with a triple. As his teammate has been injured on the window by the Thatcher, but he cannot quite get him, and that's going to be a quadra. No, he can't quite secure it, but he's pushing down, and there's the quadra for Skeeto. Well, he took that round into his own hands, rotating upstairs and finding the opening pick. But there we go. Oh shit. The Moscow's ooh la la. I don't know if the next game fares. Is he sus? What's the call?
He's sus as fuck. He
Defenders,
keeps
protect
looking
your
at
bombs
people
from
through
being
walls
defused by
and shit.
attackers.
You're hurting Psycho's ego.
Like, when he was in lounge, he looked at whoever was outside of storage. He looked at them through the wall and then looked at the Zofia at the top of stage.
Oh, fairs. I have to be honest, I wasn't paying too much attention to his cross out. I was just fucking balling at the fact he got
Like, the
quad.
issue is, like, people are like, oh, we don't have to run Moss because it's on stream. Yeah, no, the problem is, you don't have to run Moss, but if you're asked to run Moss,
10
you
seconds
have
left.
to run Moss.
That's fair.
That is just how.
Oh
it is.
yeah, I agree. You should have it ready.
5 seconds
You're supposed to
to
be
go.
running Moss 24/7 anywhere. And you're only supposed to provide Moss files if it's
Attackers are
off
moving
stream.
out to locate
But
a
if you're
bomb and defuse it.
asked to provide Moss files, you have to have those Moss files ready.
It doesn't take long to install. It's a pretty small file anyway. You probably just do it like in a round.
Tomcat just AFK.
Tomcat AFK.
I'm sending over that Moss file.
Well, we're gonna see the push coming in again. They're gonna try and get the master wall in garage control. Malusi hiding downstairs in garage storage. It's an interesting adaptation. The camera going up pretty late into the round inside of construction. He's not playing inside of rafters anymore. It's actually going to be a beast rat catching the first drone. Habana now rotating. Hopefully going to be putting out the
It'd be funny if
Couple
all of
people
a
opening up the
sudden
garage
he plays
wall.
really shit because he disabled his wall hack. Imagine.
Mozzie injured inside of the top. That's a lovely shot from Yuno, finding him through the window. Chaotic finding a quick refrag, and Rory swinging onto the main breach and finding the Zofia on the rappel. That's a lovely shot to find over the top of the shield, or even through the pixel next to it. But you've got to give him credit for that one. Skeeto holding a nice angle onto the main breach. Sees the thermite there. Okay, Skeeto. Throwing away your Maestro cam like that. Love to see it. Couple shots coming through towards the Maestro as a couple angles are going to be held to give him stumbling on words, the potential to hold a crossfire onto rafters, give him a little bit of a chance to fight against some of the people that are coming to peek, give them a second angle which they have to fight against, and more the point. Just trying to put some pressure down. The punch hole not being done at quite the right distance, but he's going to check that garage window. There's someone there, and he's going to find a kill onto Psycho.
Attackers have located a bomb.
The spray from the thermite not quite able to hit the mark, and it's now going to be a 4 versus 2. With limited time left on the board, but that's Yuno finding his second of the round as he takes out the Vigil. But Skeeto would find a quick kill onto Yuno, and it's going to be Tomcat in the 1 versus 3. Finds himself at the bottom of red stairs. Checking all the angles. Aware of he's been caught up by the Banshee, so now he's under a lot of pressure. Smoke probably holding angle quite close with the shotgun.
15 seconds to go.
And there we go. And that's going to be Rory picking up the round for Parkinson's Academy. Still confused as to why we felt the need to throw away our Maestro camera, but you know, they won the round, I guess. It was all in the greater scheme, and it's already coming back to the 3-3. Could we see the 4-3 comeback from Parkinson's after an unfortunate skin affair? No changes in the... Oh, no, there is a change. So they're not going to be bringing the Habana. They're going to be bringing the Ash, which will swap onto the Blackbeard. And this is a nice change up from the others, with Mute and Castle now being brought, as well as Bandit. All first
Attackers
times.
need to locate and defuse as many bombs as they can.
Device placed.
You'll be spitting facts though.
What, Bruins?
Attackers have discovered the location of a bomb. 10 seconds left.
Oh.
5 seconds left before insertion.
So, good. Jim going to bring out these changes, and the Castle's a nice adaptation. Gives a Beast Rat a bit of a chance to keep it a little bit safer on that Bandit trick, but the wall in construction isn't reinforced. So that's going to give a very quick way for these attackers to cut off any form of rotation. Looks like they're not really going to be doing a ton about it. Blackbeard moving into position. This could be some wonderful tech fusing on Jim, but they have that the server control now, which is the first step of attacking this site. The early push, and that is going to be the server wall into cache opened up by the thermite now. So they have that angle to try and force out the vigil on site. He's still holding pretty safe in sight, and he has that crossfire angle opened up into construction from his teammate, so he's going to have a little bit of assistance should they try to rush him hard. Lovely shot from Skeeto, finding out Shady, and that's going to be the first kill of the round. 1 minute 30 gone, and they're really not able to push him out as well as the Zofia concussion mines have already been used. Lovely shot from underneath the box. Is that prone from... Yeah, that was, and then there's Zorvs finding that kill, bring it back to a 4-4. Server control and cache control, more importantly, finally being acquired. Chaotic taking a lovely little spot hidden behind one of the tables. Skeeto getting ready to pre-fire the master bedroom window. Not really too sure why he's running around in sight, but he's taking a nice angle up here, and he's going to find the Blackbeard. Lovely shots from him to take out that threat from the master bedroom window, and that's going to give a lot of freedom to them now, as anyone else who chooses to peek from those windows is going to be a lot more vulnerable, but more importantly leaves us in a 4 versus 2. They know where Chaotic is, and that's a lovely shot from Yuno going prone. Now that gives them the control of the logistic that they so desperately need to set up a sort of two-pronged attack. Skeeto prone under the doorway, and this is going to be a cheeky angle if he can catch someone off guard. Obese Rat watching that logistic angle, he knows the threat that it can pose. Skeeto finding the kill in the doorway and just holding that trigger down. Going to keep using that 80 bullet mag to its advantage. Rory below with the LMG, with the Nitro, sorry I should say. Hear the movement in logistic, and he's going to pre-fire that door, and he's not going to stop. Aldigo Burr. Well played hold from Parkson's Academy there, and they're going to take that round. When it was 3-1, I said 3 rounds is nice, but losing 3 that convincingly in a row is never going to feel good. We're seeing the Echo coming out from the side of Valhalla, so a very different lineup here. Oh, no, never mind. We see the Maestro, the Jaeger, the Bandit, and the Mute, so it looks like they're going to try and put a lot more focus on keeping that cache wall, the server wall, sorry, closed. And it is the Echo being 6th picked onto here. No longer invisible, so it's an interesting choice. There are a couple of nice spots you can hide those yokais inside of server to give yourself a little bit of intel.
Defenders, protect your bombs from being defused by attackers.
On the side of the attack, we're seeing the solo hard breach of the Habana, so quite interesting to see only the one. You don't need a ton on the main breach, as you really just want that to hold for the angle for when the push goes on. You don't really, you saw Tomcat on their attacks, on Valhalla's attacks, running across through the site. You don't really want to be doing that with the diffuser, it's a bit risky. You normally want to go for just like pushing through the rotate inside of Garage and just try and sneak your way onto the server rack there. Sometimes, obviously if someone swings cache door or is holding the green box angle, that can be a little bit of a problem. But generally, you're a little bit safer doing that than running across the breach. Interesting Shady playing inside of Rafters, using that 1.5 on the MP5 SD, I do not doubt. Using the Yokais to gather himself a little bit of intel before he takes any sort of swing. And there we see it, watching the doorway. That's a very sneaky Yokai cam that they might not even see. Even if he launches it onto the roof, it's going to be quite well hidden amongst all the pipes. Psycho finding a quick kill onto Skeeto. That's the Sledge falling down, pushing solo through bar, I believe. Yep, just on top of stage, not really clearing his angles, and that's going to cause a little bit of a problem as they don't really know where that Jaeger is. As you can see, they think he's down in lounge. Looks to see where they're checking out. This player just hiding. Tomcat is hugging underneath. But we're finally seeing a little bit of a push from Parkson's Academy to try and clear out this Jaeger. but he keeps falling back further and further and just trying to evade any form of detection. He's gonna creep up to this window. No, he's falling back to toilet instead. Never mind. So you're a minute down, you've lost a member of your team, and you don't have control of anywhere yet. Never the ideal situation to be in. And it also looks like Hibana just isn't in a position to get this breach open yet. But she's dropping down and joining them now. So the Zofia has that angle where she can try and drop her concussive blasts underneath the bandit. Oh, going for the Hibana trick. It's a mute jam, but they don't quite realise it. We're gonna have to see an EMP get thrown out here. Oh, there we go. There's the EMP thrown out. Okay, and there go all the Hibana pellets. That was, And in the meantime, couple nice kills coming out, and, Psycho's going to be picking himself up a few swings onto Rory, the last member standing in this 1 versus 5. Well, we saw all those, I want to call them antics going on with the Hibana pellets. I don't really know what Parkson's Academy, are doing on their attack. And it looks like Rory's just going to take the chance to talk to his team and try and straighten them out. Like, I am so confused. You have the Sophia in a position where she can deny the bandit trick. That's step 1. That's good. You have no control of Garage at this point, but you can do it after getting the breach. You put all your Hibana pellets on without checking for mute jammers, without checking for the bandit, without clearing the bandit. Oh no, they just look lost, but Psycho's going to go for that last kill, taking the duel, swing with the pistol, but Rory's just going to retreat, preserve his life.
Operators, you are out of time.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. That was a, yeah, I don't even know what to say. I just... That attack was incredibly bad. Okay, but we're going to be seeing them go to Gem, and this is a
From being defused by attackers.
this is a chance to refresh themselves and start putting together some attacking rounds. We're seeing the ADS is coming out into blue, so they kind of try and keep control of that. It is a pivotal spot that you must retain control of, and as an attacker, you really want to be trying to get some pressure on blue, no matter where you're pushing. Really, if you're pushing for a more of a kitchen dirt take, you're still going to want blue to clear out the players on dummies and on green box. If you're going for a church take, you're still going to want to take blue to deny that angle as you come through either the main breach or through motor door. Because blue holds both, like, all of these angles are just controlled by blue. So, putting some focus on there is a good idea. Psycho taking a lot of damage for some loose impacts, I believe these are from, or maybe a couple shotgun shells. But they have 3 players on that roam upstairs. Oh. Skeeto slamming the door. Didn't even go for the reopen on it, which is interesting. At the very least, you'd just think you'd get it open. But... okay, we're going to take some early control of stock. And, looks like they are going to try and take control of this blue, but they haven't done a proper roam clear yet. A minute gone, there are 2 roamers still thriving on the top floor, really. Doing exactly what they want. The bathroom control now. Obese Rat holding this rotate as the defenders are going to have to try and run down this main stair. It's like they have every spot that you could fall back from scent. but they don't actually have anyone putting an immense amount of pressure. Skeeto just walks right up, but he starts reloading, walking into the Vigil, and Vigil's going to find a double before finally being taken out. Hibana's still up, but they're going to choose to use the thermite charge on Moto Hatch either way. And that's 6 pellets being used on a hatch as well. I don't know. I think maybe Chibaru isn't used to playing Hibana and just... But that's 12 pellets gone on 2 hatches, so... We're slowing down a little bit now. 40 seconds left on the round in the 3 versus 3. Trying to open some stuff up, and it looks like Rory's going to be going for the main breach here into Church. They still don't have that blue control, which is, as I was saying, quite useful for being able to push this Church. But the shots from the hatch are going to come in huge, bring Yuno down to quite low HP on this Valkyrie. The Zofia charge of the stuns coming in. Looks like Thermite might get prepared to run straight through that breach, but they're going to smoke it off just to stall out a little bit of time, allow themselves to recompose. Rory finds his way behind Minibar, and Chaotic's going to find Yuno on a quick kill. The smoke is going to hit, but not quite enough, and he's able to put himself in a nice position where he's able to plant. Chaotic rushing in, but Tomcat's going to find the first kill. Caught out by Chibaru, prone underneath main stairs. He could have kept spraying, but that's unfortunate. You know, you lose out a member like that. The 1 versus 3, Chaotic with a lovely push, finding both those players in blue. The coordination from Valhalla just to keep their angles covered wasn't quite there in the last 20 seconds. They couldn't keep themselves composed, and they lost the round because of it. But that's unfortunate. It happens. 5-4 now to Parksons, but they're going to be going to Church again, running the same line again, same 5 operators. So hopefully you'll see it from both sides, actually, same 5 operators. But hopefully we'll see just that slight tweak, and I'm sure Valhalla will be able to keep themselves composed this time round. I also would like to see Hibana making a little bit better use out of her Hibana pellet usage. Just needs to keep it a little bit tidier.
Attackers need to locate and defuse bombs.
It's a very similar sort of setup. We're seeing Shady making these holes, which you could see, Yuno on the Valkyrie, I believe it was, no, sorry, it wasn't. It was Psycho on the Vigil, holding them up from above. Watching for anyone coming into kitchen, watching for any sort of utility or Hibana pellets going down onto the kitchen hatch. Keeping that all just under wraps. You see Psycho here, this is a very standard sort of setup with a couple of roamers. Nothing too fancy. They're not reinforcing the upstairs walls. This isn't some sort of elaborate SSG-esque roam. But it's like standard, but it's working out for them fairly well. So they're going for the double push on the top floor. It'd be quite nice to see if they did do this, where they try and push one group in through server and one group in through jacuzzi. But it looks like they're focusing on getting straight into stock, there are no holes, it looks like, made to watch them. So they're kind of just ignoring the top floor for now, is what it appears to be. So we're seeing a very slow push through this middle floor, but there are still 2 players upstairs, if I'm not mistaken. Could even be 3. It looks like it's just 2. But there's no pressure on them whatsoever, and it looks like they might even start to rotate down rafter staircase as well as red stairs. Chaotic, just drawing out, trying to clear blue and get that control. Now aware of the Jaeger running around upstairs. But Shady will find a very quick kill. Who was that? Was that someone in blue? Yeah, that was on blue hatch. That was a Zofia. But Sherbo is going to shut down Psycho before his flank can do too much damage. Still have Zorvs alive, who could potentially come a bit later to do some damage. But for now, they're hanging on. 4 vs 4, minute 25, still on the round. There's enough time for them to do whatever they want to do, really. Habana rushing upstairs. Looks like she might be trying to find this Jaeger by herself. Now, where is the location around rafters? Vigil checking his angles. Just doesn't want to catch the wrong timing on this one. Sabana's right next to him on the door. He doesn't realize it, and he's going to come running through. And isn't quite able to get sights up in time to catch the Zofia. To catch the Habana, sorry. But that's going to be a sufficient room clear. Skeeto's still upstairs trying to double check that there was no one else there, which there isn't. Just gotta be careful that Shady and Yuno don't get too close to each other again and get caught out by a similar sort of push. The 4 versus 3 now, as we're gonna see the main breach getting open, and Habana is pushing down blue, taking that control. Isn't actually able to find it though, but he will find Yuno. And he will find Shady. That's the double kill for the Habana. Very effective, and now it's Tomcat in a 1 versus 4 this time. Brought himself down to the 1 versus 3. Diffuser has been planted as player under the main stairs. I don't think he quite realized it, but his gun barrel just avoids sticking out of that hole and giving his position away to Skeeto. Oh, I don't think there's any way that he's going to be able to cross without taking a lovely pre-fire. Looks like he might be getting himself ready for it. See the gun barrel, and that is Skeeto closing out the round. Round 10 goes in the favor of ParkEs Academy, and that's going to be a 6-4 lead they have now. Only 2 more rounds to close out map number 1. We can see that 6th pick onto the Echo coming out now, and this is the same operator lineup that we saw the first time they went to CCTV and Cash. They were able to win that round, so hopefully we can have similar sort of success. They have brought the Thermite this time though on the side of ParkEs, so they should have a little bit more, what's what I'm looking for, potential to get this wall open, a little bit more utility to do so with. Be interesting to see. I believe they're making a rotate for themselves now, so they are going to have the option of escaping. And the deployable shield being invested by Shady as well, so that is going to keep him a little bit more safe from the breach if he chooses to fall back onto the 90 corner. Some which is a little bit dangerous without that deployable shield, but that is going to give him a lot more maneuverability within his zone. Tomcat setting up their rotate into gym at the moment, so they have a bit more space for Psycho to play around with on the master bedroom side. Well, that's not a rotate, it's just an angle towards the window, I guess, but Tomcat below currently might be coming up master bedroom stairs now. So let's see how this push goes out. First things first, the Thermite's going for the wall into construction to try and cut off that access, that angle of rotate, cut off that zone that the defenders can play in. This is a nice first move. It works perfectly well. Except they haven't actually opened it up. Interesting prone holes here that Skeeto is making the use of to cut off this bar rotate. And Chaotic currently positioned by the pool. There we go, there's the Thermite charge coming in on the construction, going to cut off. Make it a little bit more uncomfortable. Oh, wonderful shot from Tomcat as he flicks through the wall and finds Skeeto. We'll see a Beast Rat starting to push in, but that is Tomcat going to be injured, although Chaotic will be taken out by Psycho, who I believe was the member that actually secured that injure, so he'll be rezzed back up. All 3 members below. Psycho finding the Thermite through the hatch, and that's unfortunate. A 2 versus 5 now. The revive isn't coming in quite yet, but there we go. Tomcat's back up to 20 HP. The 5 versus 2, and they know they should know exactly where the last 2 members are, and I believe they just split out the diffuser as well. So this is going to be, in my opinion, impossible for ParkEs to come back into this one, and this is the nice momentum swing that Valhalla really need to pull themselves back in this game. The flashbang's coming in now. 47 seconds left on the round. 2v5 still. Nothing much has really happened since the last kill. Just been kind of... I mean, the attackers are still in the same position. The defenders have just all fallen back onto site here. Or at least are falling back to site now.
Attackers recovered the
First of 3 smoke canisters coming out. The Psycho's found his way behind the bomb, and I don't know if he's actually been spotted out rotating to this position. Habana and Thatcher still trying to use the same angles, just looking for an opening pick, but they're not going to be given one, and it's actually going to be a quick double kill, leading to a flawless round for the defenders in round 11. They didn't... Oh, I don't know, it's a... That's an unfortunate round when you lose a player. You lose Skeeto downstairs, who's had some phenomenal moments in this round. In this game, sorry. You lose him that quickly to the lovely flick through the wall by Tomcat. And then you just lose everyone else that seems to be coming in, like the Thermite just through the hatch. That they aren't aware of where they weren't aware, sorry, I should say, of where the enemy were positioning themselves, especially after losing a member downstairs. You should be, you know, I would have expected the hatch to be watched a little bit more vigilantly.
being defused by attackers.
So we're seeing a very similar gym hold to what they ran before, the roam, but they now have that construction wall reinforced. That should provide them a little bit more safety. There's an interesting shield coming out now, actually. Haven't seen that one before on top of the plywood.
Attackers must locate and defuse the bomb.
Quite interesting to see how they're going to make the best use out of that deployable shield, whether that's just going to be used to give a bit more support, kind of like a mirror window into cash when they lose it. And I say when because you should lose that ground eventually, unless you do not take it, unless you just ignore it completely, which makes your push a lot weaker. Okie dokie, well, it's going to be a slow push from Celtic. They haven't taken control of the server yet, but it looks like they're going for it now. Trying to catch out the Bandit trick, but Bandit's going to get that first. He actually cancelled his placement of the exothermic charge. You have 3 members all sat trying to get past this Bandit trick, and he's just not stopping. Here's it going down on the wall. He manages to save it before it goes down. Oh, that's going to get off. Okay, he got the trick. After a little bit of fiddling and a minute 30 of doing so, he's finally able to get the wall. But Shady's going to reinforce. That's a quick kill coming out, and that's going to be Psycho falling. You still see Tomcat and Zorvs holding on to construction. They're not going to give it up. And as long as they pose that threat in that area, you can't really play on the gym windows because they can swing through. Lovely shot from Sabu finding Yuno. That's going to be the Bandit off the board now after getting that main breach open. The castle barricade on the gym door is still up, so that's going to give Shady a little bit of a space to play off of. But finally, that's the bathroom being opened up, so they now have a nice avenue into sight, which can't really be contested. He's obviously trying to do something about it, but there's not a ton he can do. Shady punching the bottles. Gonna have to wait to see what the first move's gonna be here as we see the position players lining up on different windows. And that's from the breach. Thermite gonna find 2 as he pushes forwards into bathroom. Castle can't quite find anyone, and Sabana lunges herself through the construction window and finds the last kill of the round. 7-5 now. And that puts them on match point. For the first time this series, a match point. and it will be in favor of ParkEs Academy. Okay, interesting lineup. We're seeing the Valkyrie. I think this is the same lineup that they ran last time they were in church. They haven't won this basement site yet. So coming here in their time of need on this on the match point to their opponent is going to be a little bit risky, but they're bringing the Echo instead of the Maestro, so that should give them a little bit more potential to stop the plant if they can hide it inside of that site well. You can maybe throw it up on top of the vending machine, destroy that basket, throw it into where the basket was destroyed, and then you can hide it and swing it around when you need to deny a plant. No, but it'd be interesting to see how they adapt to hold on to that section. They haven't really been able to hold onto blue at all. Both times they've lost it to a single person pushing, getting a double kill. First time around it was Chaotic, who pushed in, found both Yuno and Shady, and the second time it was actually Shebaru. Shebaru? Please, Shebaru, if you see this, or someone in chat knows how to pronounce it, please correct me. But yeah, he just walked down blue stairs and found a double with the Type 21 and the Bearing 9, so I really want to see this adaptation as we see Shady falling back towards blue now. Chaotic going for a very quick drone, clearing it out before rushing forwards from the warehouse spawn. Still running their double roamer with the Vigilant Valk upstairs, so it'll be interesting to see if that is cleared out this time. It looks like they're going for it straight away. Going straight for that top floor clear, and here we're seeing the Thatcher going for the Jacuzzi as well. So this is what I was talking about before, when you try and pinch from both sides and have you collapse onto them. It's interesting to use the Hibana to get the opening kill, but no damage is going to be dealt to her as she picks up Vigil. That is the first roamer down, only Valk, and she is falling back to site already. They're going up on this room. They're going to anchor and just try and keep their numbers. They don't want to lose too many people too early on as they have previously. The 4 vs 5 is not ideal, but on a bunker setup, you can still hold on to this. There's nothing you have to immediately worry about. Gonna see now Skeeto opening the holes in the walls, just trying to deny the defenders their comfortable positions to sit in. Obviously, you can't deny too much space in church, but that's not much of a worry. Interesting to see them still choosing to use the thermite charge on the motor hatch rather than using up some Hibana pellets, but I guess they have nothing else they want to open. They haven't. They've chosen to ignore Dirt Tunnel every single round. The first smoke canister coming out now, trying to hold on to that blue control, as we're seeing the push now coming down the main stairs. Obviously, Yuno finding a beast right at the bottom of them. Still one more player, Skeeto, holding on. He's going to rotate into Moto. Is he going to be able to find that cross pinch? Chaotic finding one kill inside of blue. Jaeger behind the bomb, taking a little bit of damage, but just escaping death before very quickly falling to the Hibana. And that was going to be Chaotic finding another, leaving Tomcat in a 1 vs 3 again. They know exactly where he is. They're pushing aggressively, and they're going to find him. But that is map number 1 going in favor of ParkEs. Well, that's a lovely turnaround. They started off their attacks very poorly. They looked disorganized. They looked a little bit stretched out, but they recovered brilliantly. They came back and they managed to turn their attacks, and they closed out the map convincingly. That's an 8-5 in favor from a 4-3 split.
Turn around, I can't see your face.
You muted. Let's see if this guy actually installs Mars, because if he doesn't, then I'll be very annoyed, and they will be disqualified for not providing a Mars file when asked.
Baby, I need to know, 'cause I'm losing my faith. And the more that I give, the less I get.
Brun sent me a
Tell me you
thing.
can save this.
His MMR of the past day when
Can't go on
by the holy folk. He won 5 games in a row, all of like plus 80 MMR or something. Jesus Christ! In 10 days, he'd made 2,000 MMR. Apparently, nothing left. What was the half? Very cool. 4-3 and then it's 4-3 again because of the half. Break that. 2. They wouldn't have happened. They wouldn't have wanted to hack. Nice. One shot before I even peeked. This is a trigger bot. This is a trigger bot or wall hack. Moss will figure it out. So for the next game, it's like, oh look, haha, in the screenshot, he has wall hack smiley face. And that's a bit obvious. You get me.
On most nights, I'm just wearing my pajamas, staying up too late, cause I'm watching Futurama, thinking where's my trauma, my life's no melodrama, leave it off the screen, cause it's got no genre, sometimes I call my mama, rain, yeah she's always my armor. To fly away, far from my mistakes. My package has too much weight. Hey, hey, so my bed is where I stay. Tell the clouds that I say a phase, but it's harder to realize that I'll never be a quarter of the man I far from my mistake. My baggage has too much weight. So my bed is where I stay. I want to fly away, far from my mistakes. My baggage has too much weight. So my bed is where I stay. Tell the clouds that I say hey. Tell the clouds that I say hey. Too into each other to notice they turned on the lights. It's that kind of night. I walk you to your car, but it's not a good idea for either of us to drive. So how about we ride? I'll get us in an Uber back. We can go back to my place. Kick your heels off at the doorway. Why does the night have to end? Just cause the bartender said, won't you come in for a nightcap? One more drink with you wouldn't be so bad. Hey, odds are we'll just fall into bed. But if we fall in love instead, would you la 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 that? Only one way to know. Won't you come in for a
So into map number 2 now. We've seen the first ban, Oregon. Parkinson's on defense, probably going to see a Thatcher or Maverick. I would assume Thatcher, but they did ban Maverick before. There we go. And on the side of Berserkers, I mean, why am I forgetting who they banned last time round on Clubhouse? Because it wasn't Thatcher. Oh yeah, it was Ace. So honestly, probably an Ace again. But we'll have to find out. If it's not, maybe it's Thatcher, but yeah, oh, there we go, Thatcher. On the defensive side now, it'll be interesting to see what they choose to get off. There's a couple options you can go for here. You see the Wamai is one that they might just go for again. They removed it from Clubhouse. It's just as strong here, really. So the Jaeger instead, so going with the other alternative, trying to take the gun off the board as well, force people onto that Wamai if they want to play any sort of grenade now. So that's interesting enough. It's less commonly banned of the two, but now that the deployable shield is gone, it also, removes that. Probably the mirror again here from Parkinson's Academy, and there we go. So, first round out, we're going to see the laundry room be chosen as the site of choice to open up the half. Very quick for the attackers to lock in their lineup. Sledge and Zofia, as well as Habana, Ace, and Nomad. We see the mute coming in, and there doesn't really seem to be any way for them to deal with that mute on the side. On the side of Valhalla. So, it'll be interesting to see how they choose to come across this hurdle. Probably expecting a top floor first. The 6th pick onto the Melusi is a very interesting one. Melusi very strong, especially on bunker. If you can hold onto it. They're not running the Wamai. No grenade denial. So it means that if they choose to extend into elbow, that deployable shield will be destroyed very quickly. And yeah, we can see that they are extending there. The deployable shield will be gone pretty quick if they don't choose to have anyone else contesting from the doorway. They're reinforcing all of electrical, so they're not going to have any option to play off of further angles there.
10 seconds remaining.
Vigil running up and getting the hatches. Freezer hatch can be gotten as well, so they're probably extending into Freezer as well then. Looks like they are fully reinforcing off elbow now, so they are actually not choosing to extend into it, choosing to give up that control to the attackers. Just mute jam it all off. The attackers don't have anything to get off that mute jammer with. Interesting way of holding on to meeting here. He has no obvious escape plan, but the drone is going to get destroyed. They know he's playing inside of there. A couple sprays through the wall from Zorv's. Not going to hit his target, but Be interesting to see if they can perform a good pinch onto this Vigil and hold him in. Already quickly going down the main stairs, and that's going to be Psycho finding a very quick frag onto Skeeto on the pillar. New Jammers doing their job at holding off the ace. He had to use 2 charges on there, and he hasn't picked them back up, so they're just going to hold them there and wait for that Jammer to be gone. Finding another kill onto a Beast Rat after the kill was found onto Zorvs, and that's going to be the pillar control retaken for the attackers. Pushing very quickly down this main corridor now, but he's going to fall to the swing from Cherbaru. Psycho going to find the Malusi playing on top of the box in Freezer. And already Tomcat on site setting out his plot. Oh, Psycho finding a little peek on the pixel between the bomb. I guess the angle was just being checked somewhere else, and it's Psycho finding Cherbaru, and that's going to be a very quick opening round for Valhalla. And that's how you want to start map number 2, ladies and gentlemen. That is a textbook example of how you bounce back from a map loss. Player of the round, Psycho, of course, found that opening pick onto Skeeto on top of the pillar, then also found a lovely shot onto Chaotic inside of Freezer, before finally... Wait, is that 4K for him? Because he also found the smoke, right? Yeah. Psycho with a 4K on the Nomad. Fantastic play from him then. Well, he put his team on his back and just ran through the site. I mean, what can I say? Like, man wanted to win. And it's gonna be Zorvs taking up the Nomad now, and it's actually gonna be Psycho promoted to Ash. He's allowed to play it now. They've told him he's good enough.
Attackers have located a bomb.
The same hold coming out again, same 5 operators going to be used in the same way. Maybe a shield invested on pillar here. Skeeto toggling maybe.
Bomb located by attacker.
That's a joke. That's a joke, everyone. But he isn't setting up any sort of utility at the moment, as his team are reinforcing off elbow and setting up the Malusis inside of Freezer. Deployable shield in position to give him a little bit of flexibility, contesting anyone coming in
Attacker's objective is to
from bunker. And I also really like the prone holes that have been made on the floor next to him. Have to quickly try and set up some Maestro cams before the attackers start making their presence known. But they're quickly pushing in towards tower. It looks like Skeeto's coming to give Vigil a little bit of support on the tower stairs. Psycho pushing onto the staircase underneath, and they know where Vigil is now, and they have it pinged out, you can see there, with ping 2.0, and that's Skeeto falling again to the same spot. The Maruzi on lower stairs being cleared out now, and Chaotic's going to play a little bit more aggressively. Just misses catching out but now the drones are going to be coming in, trying to spot him out. Nearly a perfect opportunity, and it's going to actually be the support from Shebaru coming up now through meeting, as the attackers are much more quickly pushing in to take control of Pillar and Electrical. Vigil above now, falling back towards the dorms. But this leaves Ash of kind of free entry into the site. Sledge takes out a Malusi charge using the hammer when he could just use a melee. But, flexing, I guess. There's a player right next to him in freeze. I don't think he realizes it as they smoke off the double door. And the first toxic smoke caster comes out as Tomcat pushes straight up onto the site. And he's going to take out the mute. That's OB Trap falling down. Smoke throwing out another perfectly placed grenade as that catches up Tomcat. I don't think that was actually dealing damage to him there, but the rotation is being watched. But he can't quite land the headshot, and Shebaru will, although he's on 1 HP, he will find it, and that's the last. It's toxic smoke coming out. Shebaru on 1 HP on the laundry table. Smoke still in a good position in Freezer, even if he can't contest with any smoke. There's actually 2 players in Freezer with no rotate out, so as long as this door is watched carefully, they should be able to keep them pincered, as the diffuser is able to be recovered from the sights of the smoke, and they can't quite catch the leg. And that's going to be the Nomad felling the smoke, but actually who finds the kill, sorry. Shebaru and Vigil both coming into Laundry now as Vigil ran all the way around. Chaotic quickly refraging Psycho as he takes out his teammate, but will be quickly felled by the SMG-11 in the hands of Shady. And that is a second very strong round from Valhalla in the same site. Similar sort of push. But again, that's just Skeeter just not paying attention at the start of a round and losing out twice. So we're going to see the adaptation into kids now. Just reading chat, trying to keep up with the tale of the moss.
Attackers need to locate and defuse bombs.
So we're seeing the change in sight now due to the failures, the unfortunate hold on the basement, but they'll hopefully be able to rebuild their defensive strategy and come back stronger. But we're going to see the Mozzie being brought now rather than being swapped off of. Trying to deny that intel as we see Rory slapping a drone with his shotgun. The mute still being played to keep some of these areas closed off, but obviously, unlike the previous site, the mute jammers can just be shot from underneath. So it'll be interesting to see how they choose to elect sending members to which side. The Wamai is being brought this time, so we could see a bit of a hold into Attic being used. But it looks like Wamai currently playing inside a trophy, and they're actually going to choose to have that shield. Is there a shield there? Yeah, there is a shield up behind the doorframe. So they're going to choose to keep that shield a bit safer rather than calling the rehost. Yep, the rehost after this round. Not a problem. Just trying to sort out some technical issues from Skeeto. Very quick push from Psycho, finding himself right up on the armory corridor. And they're trying to reinforce the the attic from Trophy, but that's actually the first kill isn't killed. That's going to be Yuno saving his teammate, but Chaotic finding Zorvs either way.
Cover me. Reloading.
Quick trade back and forth. And it is going to be the defenders coming out overall on the better for that. They are losing Umai, who does have his utility. Oh, that's a poor Nitro Cell being tossed out. It's going to take a little bit of time as a quick trade comes in. Rory for Psycho, but Psycho's been so strong, and the toxic grenade was... The gas has already been set off, and that is going to be the sledge falling because of it. Already reduced to 20 HP, so only needs to take 2 ticks of damage to be killed. Lovely little melee hole here, watching that trophy door. You have 3 players now in good crossfire positions, all in sight. And the attackers in a 2 versus 3. They've put no focus on trying to get... No focus on trying to get this attic opened, which I think is a mistake, but under the circumstance now, I don't think they really have the option to do so unless they're trying to rotate out. Skeeto prone on the floor. They're going to drone him through, though, and he finds the arm of the ace. Not able to find the lethal shot. But Yuno will, and that's going to be Obese Rat falling. Now sees the spray from the Mozzie coming out, and that's back on the bunk bed, they would assume. And it's not far off. The Maestro close on the doorway. Chaotic with the repeat, finding the first kill, and that is a second lovely shot from Chaotic, finding both members remaining from the attacking team. And they will secure the round before the rehost. Well, okay then. So we're going into our second rehost of the evening. Thank you for bearing with us through this. You know, it's not ideal, but shouldn't be too long just waiting on, well, depending on how epic Skeeto's CPU is going to be, it could be a little while actually, but
Is this a fatal attraction or something brand new? I got a strange emotion. Do you feel it too? Tell me what's on your mind. Used to be perfect strangers. Maybe I fell for you. Maybe it's nothing major. Just trying to speak the truth. What's love? What's love gonna do with us? Been having these conversations. There's something about you, more than just undercovers. I can't forget you. Tell me what's on your mind. Used to be perfect strangers. Maybe I fell for you. Maybe it's nothing major. Just trying to speak the truth. What's love? What's love gonna do with us? Used to be
Cool. So, we are back after the rehost. So, hopefully, we will not have any more needs for technical rehosts. But you never quite know with Rainbow Six Siege. It's the joys of watching such a intricately designed game. But to put it lightly. But we're gonna have the same lineup coming back from Valhalla on their attack. The IQ coming out instead of the Ash, so we're going to try and find those Valkyrie cameras and deny that intel, and the Valkyrie is going to be brought in place of the Maestro. Never mind. Forget what I said. But it was actually the IQ swapped to the Ying as well. So they ended up not needing it and don't have it. So that's quite convenient for Psycho there. The Wamai being brought is a nice change up because it means that we could see them end up extending into elbow, and it looks like Rory is going to be putting his shield there, so we might see the Wamai trying to help protect that a little bit. As before, they were mute jamming off that area of the site, but they are dropping a mute jammer behind the shield, so hopefully that will keep the drone intel a little bit off. You can see Rory making is that a prone hole again for the feet? Yep, feet holes again, just to watch that door. I think those feet holes are a really nice addition to this, especially if you're not going to have an aggressive angle onto electrical. Very similar setup otherwise, just the extension into elbow that's changed up really. It looks like Skeeto is not on pillar this time, instead playing a little bit further back into the site. Although that could be him walking up to it now. And there we can see the Wamai playing inside a pillar, moving his magnet further forward just so that it catches. If it catches an explosive, it doesn't still hit the shield, which is a good call from him. But that is all the magnets gone now. Quite a lot of damage being dealt onto the Yang, but he's being forced out by that first of 3 Candelas. Concussive mine, just to make sure that he's not there anymore. And that's going to be Habana fighting Skeeto. Skeeto falling first all 3 rounds that they've played in this basement site. Shield finally being blown up. A lot of utility used in there, but all 5 players in bunker now as they're going to start to make their way towards pillar control. Can't quite catch out any of these mute jammers though, which is obviously not ideal. But the rotate hole was not able to be reinforced as the smoke ran away. He didn't want to risk any, or the mute ran away. He did not want to risk anything when that Candela was going off in case he got pushed. Mute, it was Wamai. But yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. See the smoke playing quite aggressively on pillar. The shot onto the shoulder from Shady nearly found his foot, but the smoke was able to run away with his life, and well, that's going to be crucial in keeping him up to secure this round. He's going to check the prone hole just after the sledge peeks it. Does a little bit of damage, but Yuno is going to get injured by Chaotic and finished off. That's a lovely bit of play from the Malusi, I believe. Rory now finding Psycho as he tried to come back around the main stairs, and that is the Yang off the table, still with 2 Candelas in pocket. So there's a little bit of lost utility there. We can see, I believe it's Mute still hugging into a freezer corner there. I know it's Smoke hugging to... So Smoke's hugging freezer, and we have Mute playing in Cubby. Chaotic on a flank now. I don't know if they're going to catch him out. Doesn't look like they have any drones, and we can see Zorb's running down. But that's a lovely frag grenade from Shady. Going to find Rory, and that's the smoke off the table. Zorb's found a lovely pick down long corridor onto the laundry double door. They know where one of the last 2 members is, inside of the closet, and he's going to be taken out by the SMG-11 in the hands of Shady. I don't know if they know where the last is. Chaotic on the flank, and he's going to catch the ace sleeping. Coming up to the rotate. 1 player in freezer, 1 on the rotate they should be aware of, and they now know that he's playing inside of bunker. Gonna try and take the pre-fire into freezer. The Nitro coming out isn't quite gonna land with his target. And it looks like they're playing ring around the Rosies here as he pushes around the back. Both of them coming through the same doorway, taking the fights one at a time, but Zofia gonna swing as Moosey runs, thinking that there might be someone approaching from his behind. Both on the doorway, and well, it's well played by Valhalla to secure that round, and that is 3 wins in the basement in a row. Well, what can you say? They have to go to another site now. The top floor is still locked for more round. They're choosing to go to kitchen and dining. Hopefully they can put a round on the board there. You should be able to hold a basement, but they've lost it 3 times. And whilst that's not great, at least they're changing it up. They're going to try and do something about it. They've taken 2 different approaches at basement. They've had someone playing an elbow as well as locking it away. So now they're going to try the kitchen. And I think they have a decent enough lineup to do so. The smoke probably going to be playing in the back of kitchen with the Maestro cams giving some form of assistance. Be interesting to see if they expand and how they expand into showers. Skeeto's shooting the ground. Nothing being done to expand into showers just yet, but I'm sure they will do something. Maestro cam being placed aggressively just so it can see that default plant spot. And there we go. There's the shower rotate being made, and we'll have to see potential impact trick.
5 seconds left before insertion.
Okay, making a couple head height holes just to provide some pressure. But I think Skeeto has barbed wire in hand rather than the impact grenade. Looks like a little bit of upstairs pressure as well, so they're going to try and hold that upstairs, try and hold the train as if they were holding the site above, which is a good way to play it. Well, Vigil just choosing not to shoot the drone. It's quite kind of him. Quite kind of him. As we can see, an early push through towards Trophy, trying to clear out the top floor so that they can get a control of the meeting area and possibly go for a bit of a back push. Interesting, the smoke running around in the basement, but he's going to be coming up Freezer stairs, trying to support his teammates from the bottom of White. I would have thought that they'd swap the mute and the smoke in position, but as the mute falls very early to the Nomad, I think it's probably beneficial overall in the round that they haven't done so. They know where the Vigil is now, but although they have lost the Zofia trying to push him out, and they're going to have to try and do something, they do have the potential for a double peek, as Yuno's going to find the first kill onto the Mozzie. Vigil taking a chunk of HP off of Shady, but will get downed by the frag grenade. It was quite a fortunate toss, but you have to take the fortune as it goes, and that's going to be a quick kill picked up by Skeeto with the Alder. I believe onto Psycho as well, but the plant is going down now for the Ace, and it's going to be Smoke rotating through the back. I don't think they know where he is. He's going to find one quick kill. He's being... The Ace being pinged out for him, and he's fallen back into the tower. They're going to have that critical information from those Maestro cameras. He's getting ready to swing again. They're just going to plant in the same spot. They should know where he is. Hasn't quite placed the smoke canister correctly on the floor. You have to place it on the floor so it eats out into the through the wall, rather than placing it on the wall itself. But that's just a little bit of advice for anyone else listening that plays a lot of smoke, wants to make the best use of that smoke glitch. They know his location inside of showers now. Probably had some sort of drone watching him get there. So they're both watching it from both sides. The spray through the wall not quite landing with its target. Habana is going to catch him as he stands up a little bit too much. He now sees the pre-fire from Sledge. Can't quite hit these shots. This is really unfortunate, but he finds the first. Sledge will quickly trade it out, though, and that's going to be the round going in favor of the Berserkers. 4-1 in the first 5 rounds. That is a lovely half from Valhalla so far, and they still have 2 more rounds to put a couple more on the board, hopefully. They are going to have to go to the top floor again. We may see a slight change. Hopefully we'll see ParkEs Academy be able to put that second round on the board on the same site as previously. But it'd be interesting to see what adaptations are made. And I really want to see Valhalla pushing this big tower. They made no sort of attempt to take any control on that side, and I think that'll be very important for them to do so, to have a successful launch, or a successful go at launching themselves one further round in. Very similar lineup again. No Maestro. Skeeto moving on to the Vigil, so hoping to have a little bit more off-site presence, hopefully get a little bit more
Defenders,
done.
protect your bombs
Kind of
from
surprised we
by attackers.
haven't been seeing the impacts coming out on the Maestro. You know, impact tricking is a thing that you can do on a lot of sites, and it's, you know, it's very powerful on this site specifically. The last time they were here, he didn't bring them. They haven't been making those impact holes, the impact trick holes underneath, but, you know, it's everyone's choice to make and go below Classroom.
My magnets will protect us.
10 seconds to go.
Okay, well, you know, accidentally leaking the strat in all chat, you know,
5
happens.
seconds left before insertion.
Wrong chat, oops.
Deploying jammer.
But it's gonna be Skeeto hiding down in the basement.
Ready to block.
They type let's put basement and Skeeto's gonna run away pretty quickly.
Activate jammer.
Why? Sitting behind his turret? Sitting behind his shield again. Just gonna hold on to trophy for a little bit longer than he did last time, hopefully. It was a nice, to be fair, nice double push that came out from Valhalla to get that control early on, but there was some also fantastic refragging going on from both teams to keep the man count equal at all times until right at the end. The frag grenade from outside is going to catch that mute jammer, so now it's a case of whether Yuno can get that wall open. The C4, lovely launch from Chaotic. That's going to take Shady out of the round. Skeeto getting very aggressive from Classroom, takes a chunk of damage for it, and actually going to spray down through the wall, take even more. The air jab coming in, but isn't quite capitalized on, as he's going to fall back to White Stairs with a sliver of HP. Looks like there might be the ace moving towards tower now, if I'm not mistaken. The run out being prepped, and he's going to swing on the main door, do quite a bit of damage onto Psycho, but can't quite find the kill. The round's starting to slow down now that the first kill has been taken, but Psycho's finally going to be found out by Skeeto. The air jab went off, but didn't push him. Nabana's jumped into Classroom, I believe. Yeah, it's inside a Classroom, not quite known to the Vigil, but that's going to be observed. Obese Rat finding Yorvis. Yorvis? But flawless round from the defenders either way, and that round went just as well as you could have hoped for. And this could be the spring that they need to jump themselves into a 4-3 at the halftime, recovering from what has been some weak basement holds. It's back to the basement again, so please let us, let's not lose it 4 times. I just don't want them to have lost it 4 times. I could never wish that upon anyone. Skeeto sticking that Vigil now, so he is falling off of the Maestro and also off of the Valkyrie. It looks like with the Wamai they're probably going to be focusing on holding Elbow again, so it'll be interesting to see if they can hold on to it a little bit longer than they did previously.
Attackers need to locate and defuse bombs.
Deploying magnet. You've been wearing less of
I don't know why I thought it was basement.
down and on the run.
Did they change it? I don't know. Either way, they're returning back to the kitchen without the Maestro.
Activate jammer.
Probably going to put a little bit more pressure on the top floor then. Trying to hold on to that. Skeeto unable to catch that drone, but he's running around to find it on the other side, and he will find it on the other side. The rotation caught out, and that, that's just wonderful reading of the drone work.
10 seconds to go.
Protecting the shower with the Wamai discs. Only the one so far, but it looks like Wamai will be playing that shield and trying to hold on to it for as long as possible. And with the impacts now, Wamai will probably also be impact tricking that wall should they try to open it up. Hold on to the lockers for showers for a little bit longer than they did previously.
I'm dry.
3 members now playing upstairs. They are running. Oh, Skeeto's come back downstairs, punched the window, and he's looking for an early pick, although they know that they heard the punch, and they're ready for it. Nearly walking into the bullet spray, just missing Psycho once again, and there's been a very couple close calls for Skeeto and for some of the members of the team around him already, and Ash is pushing up very aggressively. Gonna lose out one set of pellets. Lose out 2 breaching rounds now to the magnets, and losing a third. That is the Wamai catching all of the Habana pellets, all of the ash charges and the ash herself. So, you know, that is not a wonderful start.
Changing max.
Psycho gonna catch out Skeeto this time, swapping roles on each other as the frag grenade comes in, trying to push out that Wamai.
Attackers have located a bomb.
That wall's gonna get opened up now by the ace, and Tomcat is gonna find Chebaru. That is the Wamai going down now as one gas canister comes out. 1 minute 38 on the round left, so 1 minute 30 will be the time when they could look to move in once again. But that's Mozzie taking a very aggressive swing on Shara Corridor and being picked up swiftly by the Habana, leaving them in a 4 versus 2. That's going to be Rory trying to find a nice spot after being sprayed through the wall, but going to be picked up by Shady, who's playing very aggressive in the door, and Obi's right in the 1 versus 4. I don't think there's anything he can really do in this position, and there we go. We see him fall to the sledge. Well, that is the half. Can we get a quick scoreboard check? Shady's just going absolutely ham with Yuno keeping up with him a bit. But yeah, all pretty flat on the other side of things. Okay, so we're seeing the Kali coming out from Parksons. They want to be safe from any any bandits, caves, or mute charges that come out. But it's actually going to be the pulse being swapped onto, and this is a lovely change. Probably going to be playing underneath, but that's going to give so much information to the defenders about where the attackers are coming from. There are so many soft walls on this, like the entire site, pretty much, is soft, as well as the master bedroom. There is that spot on the doorway, you know, and that's going to be a spot to watch out for. But I think there are enough ways you can deny that zone, where the pulse underneath is going to be so critical if they can't get rid of it. The Oryx is also an interesting operator. I have had certain grimes of teams playing. Actually, it was Valhalla on Cafe playing Oryx in the past. But you know, be interesting to see how they choose to come out this one.
Attackers are moving.
Tomcat all the way in the basement, so trying to stay a little bit undetected for the moment until he needs to rotate up. Could be what's happening. Attackers will definitely try to take control of Classroom so that they can secure the breach into games. And so, you know, staying a bit hidden from the initial droning while you're doing so is probably ideal. Just checking for garage and lobby, making sure he can stay hidden. If anyone's pushing him, he'll know. But it looks like they're not going to even put any sort of pressure downstairs. And you also have the Oryx to worry about. Carly just double checking that there's nothing on the wall, but she could walk up to it and check that there was nothing on the wall. So I think that was, you know, probably not needing a little bit of a wasted utility there. But you know what? It's doing her job, so we can't complain too much. They have their flank watched currently by Chaotic. Oryx falling back into sight now. Or jumping up back into sight now, I should say. But Tomcat's going to find a quick kill in main lobby, and now Ash is going to have to keep that pulse on the flank in mind as he's rotating round to White Stairs, and might even just come back into sight. Might go into kitchen, though. By the way, this is a very slow attack from Parkson's Academy, and it looks like they're not quite on shape. Obese Rat going to find out that pulse, though, and they're going to start to push him out accordingly. Psycho's ready on that hatch to drop if he needs to, but he's playing a very aggressive angle on the fridge. Doesn't quite know that Ash is oh, it's actually Carly, sorry. Is underneath. Carly and Ace now getting ready, and Oryx is there, but lovely shot from Rory to find him out. That's going to be critical. If he had fallen there, that would have given so much power to to a team. It's also going to use the Lance to get rid of the Maestro camera at the end of Attic. Oh, nearly hit the smoke, but he's going to pop the gas canister. He's going to be pushed through it though, and going to get injured out by the Zofia, who's going to quickly pick up the kill as the gas begins to fade. The Maestro trying to lay down the fire, but it's going to get caught out by the Ash pushing up white stairs. This could be an amazing collapse now, and it's leaving them in a 2 versus 4. Wamai alone in sight as Pulse is trying to run back in support. Couple sprays, but that's going to be the Pulse of Tomcat picking up Chaotic. Zofia falling down. One player coming up behind the Pulse though, and I don't think he quite realizes this. He just moves out the way in perfect time. 10 seconds left in the round. It's a 1 versus 3. Can he clutch this one out for his team? The diffuser's going down. Carly's holding at the top of white stairs. He lands the shot onto the Ash. But Carly was hiding behind the door frame, and he's going to run straight into a crossfire. Nothing he can do about that one. So we're seeing a basement now from Valhalla. Let's see if they can have a successful basement where ParkEs Academy failed to do so. But the first round of the half going in favor of ParkEs on their attack is definitely a promising sign that they could have something planned. No 6th pick changes coming out. The Cade, obviously brilliant, but the Kali is already there, so it isn't going to hold them back for too long. Looks like we're seeing the full reinforcement of Elbow, just going to give up that control. Does mean that the attackers with their plethora of hard reach, both the Thatcher, the Habana, and the Ace, so the Kali aren't going to have any problems taking any control that they want, and is actually going to be able to basically get Elbow free, get that rotate where it would have been open, or even in a more advantageous position, and then try and cut that site in half. Deny the free zone, also deny the rotate at the same time, anyone running through it at least. You can obviously throw nitro cells and whatnot past the wall without exposing yourself. With a Bandit and a Cade though, you could see some tricking coming on, or it could just go on the hatches to try and deny the vertical play from those hatches. Keep Freezer a bit more secured, as when you lose that Freezer hatch, it becomes much harder to hold your position on those lockers. Yeah, and we can see the hatch, at least in meeting, has been reinforced to keep that electrical closed for now. Skeeto running straight down and into sight, and no one's denying it, but the Maestro's going to put a bit of damage, and Smoke's quickly going to swing on him. Very lucky that Maestro checked it when he did, but that's a player lost. You know, it's a risky play. These kind of plays where if that works, you win the round, but if it doesn't, you just put yourself at a disadvantage for basically no reason. Tomcat took very little damage, and if anything, it's going to put the Berserkers on high alert for the future rounds and make anything like that much more difficult. So, you know, if you need some magic, I think it's an interesting call, but there was no need to risk it, in my opinion. Chaotic, though, finding a quick frag onto Psycho and Tower, and that's going to be the tower control now in the hands of the attackers. Going to take out that shield and deny Cade his comfort spot. Cade hasn't even moved, he's just chilling. Set off for C4, not going to land with anyone, going to swing onto the staircase, but Chaotic is not in position to receive those bullets. Tries to fall back, but has that hole now to worry about inside of the electrical wall. Ace wasn't on it actively at the time, but he is now, and he doesn't want to have to lose his life so carelessly. Chaotic is going to find a second kill of the round, and that is Zorv's going. That is now the Cade off the table, off of pillars, and that control is being ceded to the attackers. Smoke using his last canister to keep that elbow clear, but that's a minute still to go. 50 seconds when that smoke clears for the attackers to basically do whatever they want to in a position where they have the man advantage in a 4 versus 3. There are still some nice spread out positions for the defenders to play, but it's just something they have to be careful of. We see Chevrolet slowly pushing down to Freezer, but he's going to shoot the cam, which will alert Tomcat to his presence. But that distracts the Freezer player and opens a potential spot for the defenders to go, for the attackers to go in now. He's going to stand up and he's looking right at the head, but he doesn't react in time. It's actually going to be Shady finding that kill, bringing us back to a 3 versus 3. And at this point, I think the defenders are in a possible advantageous position. But a lovely swing from Ace is going to find the Omai. Chaotic is going to find a triple kill, and that's going to be the Maestro killed in Freezer. Smoke with no canisters left, the SMG-11 in hand is going to have to find a miracle, and as he tries to run through the smoke, the Kali will spot him out, and that is ParkEs Academy winning round number 9. Vahano just choosing to move on to different sites after every round. There's nothing wrong with that. You know, you lose a round, go next one. You can come back to it later, you can play it again. The Echo coming out as well as the Maestro, so they're obviously going for a very intel-heavy approach. Often the Maestro camera is obviously granting that vision through the smoke, but in combination with it, with the Yokai, you know, you can ping things out, Yokai them, and then try and get some smoke canisters going deep. You have a lot of denial. They don't have the smoke, but with the castle on board, they're going for the hold through the kitchen to hold off the meeting. Nice hidden Yokai. It'd be interesting to see if that stays hidden or if it gets spotted out on top of the table there in meeting. It's a nice spot if they can keep it back. I wonder what the vision on it is like when it hits the ceiling, but don't know. I think with the Yokai and the Evil Eye, they have that potential to keep intel on that stage. And they're also investing quite a lot in holding above, which is, you know, you need to hold above. You lose that hatch above, and it suddenly becomes very different to oh, just checking his own skins. Yeah, I wouldn't want any more skin problems. From the side of ParkEs, it looks like he's prepping a castle barricade for a sort of run out or trying to take it down, but if he's taking it down, he should be pulling it to give it back to the castle. This is fascinating. Okay. Well, you know, fair enough. They know where he is behind this castle barricade. They spot him out on the drone. Gonna get quickly taken out by the castle who's watching it for him, but gonna push very aggressively in and actually catch the Maestro off guard. The castle is sleeping for a little bit, but he's gonna get quite a bit of damage back onto Celtic. I don't think that should have been allowed to happen. You've been droned out, you tell your teammate to move. You know, it's unfortunate, it happens. Psycho is now in an interesting position here, whereas first Yokai is going to be caught out and taken. Chaotic, who fell back towards Garage, is going to spot out the Echo and is going to push him back. Shady going to be taken out, and that's Skeeto finding a kill upstairs. Zorv's the Bandit going down. My lovely shot through the wall. Sees the probably sees some movement through that punch hole he has there. Yep, that would be my assumption. Lovely shot by Subaru to find the Echo, and that's going to be the 4 versus 1 now for the Omai. A huge task for him to pull this one back, especially with the diffuser in the hands of Rory, who's going to be able to come down through the kitchen corridor, just run into the site and get that plant down, planting on the benches, and there's Chaotic. The angle through split, through the rotate hole, going to win that round out, and now we're back to a 5-5. Attacker sided Oregon, they said it was possible. We're going to go back to Kid Storms now. The Pulse is back on the table, as is the Oryx. So it'll be interesting to see how they can use these two, hopefully in a slightly more effective combination to win out the round, as they were unable to actually win it last time, but that's not a we're not going to criticize them for not winning. The attackers had a lovely way of pushing out basically every area they needed to. They were able to apply pressure correctly onto Trophy to clear that area after they had that attic control. But getting control of attic was done really swiftly by ParkEs, and I really want to see them do that again. Show that they are very organized at taking the ground they want to, and I think if they do that, that will set them in a brilliant position to close out this map, as the way you attack on this map is really by just taking the critical points and then expanding with that control to adjust yourself into a site position. You can't fault the way that they've done that on every round so far. They've always been in the correct position to do the correct thing. They seem very well rehearsed on their attacks on Oregon. You have to give them credit for that.
Loading new magazine. Looking for you.
10 seconds left. 5 seconds left before insertion. Attackers are moving out to locate a bomb and defuse it.
Looks like a Beast Rap was able to catch the Oryx making those holes in meeting wall at the end of the round. So interesting to see how they choose to adapt things. An early push into Garage to try and deny any sort of rotate around here, but also to set yourself up in a position to take control of Trophies. He's running straight to Armory Stairs. Probably doesn't know they have any drones there. He's just face checking the whole thing. He's been spoiled on the Maestro camera finally, and he's already in Trophy, has that control, and finds himself the first kill, finds himself a double kill. Fantastic shots from Skeeto there. And this is what I was talking about earlier. Oh, and that's the Oryx hidden inside a tower is going to quickly pull back the double kill. There's one more player on the window, and this has been the round of the stars.
Reloading.
Loading new mag.
Chaotic finding another kill onto Uno, so it's going to be back to a 2 versus 2.
Dropping smoke.
It's like a shell hidden inside of the top of the attic. Gonna have the smoke come out, and it looks like the Ace is gonna try and rappel through the window, but they will hear that, and the pre-fire will probably just be enough to kill him. The pre-fire comes in.
Attackers drop the diffuser.
The pre-fire is enough to kill him. So Chaotic gonna push onto the site. They just need to play numbers, and Tomcat's gonna win that gunfight out, and that was an interesting round. Yeah, I mean, Skeeto ran in, got a double kill. Well played. Psycho sat still, got a double kill. Fair enough. But with the diffuser down, they finally managed to shut down Skeeto, and then the round was kind of just over after that. Yeah, I mean, interesting play. They chose not to move both of their players over to try and get control of the tower, clear out Psycho, and take control, but there we go. It's going to be back to Laundry Room, where they had the misfortune of losing out to a very well... what's what I'm looking for? Well-directed assault from ParkEs Academy, and hopefully they'll be able to keep doing that. You know, take control of that pillar like they did last time. They did it very effectively. I would assume that all of Bunker is going to be reinforced again. Yep, there we go. Bunker all being closed off. I think it's interesting that both teams have started out by giving up that control, and neither have really seen success down here. Both have just attacked it very well. As well as neither really having a true grasp on the site. That's probably just an observer bug,
10 seconds left before insertion.
because Shelly looked pretty satisfied with the hole he made.
5 seconds remaining. Attackers must locate and defuse the bomb.
Position the
Deployed.
Yes.
Catching projectiles.
Pretty much. That sums it up pretty well. That was a head height hole, so, you know, it's going to give a bit more interest for who's going to be able to play off of it. They're pinging it now. Maybe it was bugged? I don't know. But that's a quick kill for Skeeto as he just runs into Laundry, and that's a very quick assault. A rush play from Parkson's here. Skeeto with a triple kill. The Bandit coming in behind, gonna finally shut down him. But they have all of site control at this point, and there's nothing that you can really do. That's a fantastic rush. Plant going down. I don't think there's anything left to say here. Psycho isn't going to win this. On 20 HP. Kind of hoping you'd prove me wrong just for the insane clip. But, you know, there we go. A nice rush down Laundry. And that's the sort of, you know, that's the magic play. Where you can't predict that. You can't see that coming. You just have to be ready. I mean, last time they tried to defend this Laundry site, they were susceptible to it. And I specifically said they're going to put Berserkers on alert. And they weren't. They weren't ready for that to come again, and they did it with 2 players that time, so that, you know, it makes more noise, but it's just, you can't be getting away with that. You nearly lost to it before, but you won. Well, you saved it, you still lost. But you lost out to it this time, and Psycho with the Capcan, they're seeing that Skeeto's just rushing on this Ash, they're going to try and do something to slow him down. Maybe this will do it.
Defenders, protect your bombs from being defused by attackers.
The double impact coming out to make that large, just opening up the whole wall. Gives them a bit more option for mobility. Also gives a couple more angles for the attackers to hold from outside of split.
Attackers have discovered
No castle, which is an interesting change considering they had like a couple of these doors castled off to really mean that you had to invest utilities to get them open. So if they go for just the barricade, then I hope Tomcat sits in a bit more of a comfortable and safe position
10 seconds left before insertion.
rather than sitting inside of split, because we saw how
Seconds left.
it went before, but obviously that was behind a castle barricade, which is a little bit safer.
Defuse a bomb.
The upstairs pressure is still the same, so hopefully they'll be able to hold it. I mean, in credit to he didn't manage to take out Skeeto there, but had to fall back because he was in a 1 versus 4, and you don't really want to be sat above in that 1 versus 4, giving up all the site. So it's a bit of a give and take. Quick kill, Skeeto just rushing straight in. Tries to pre-fire the Maestro. Spots out the Capcan trap, but he's going to take a lot of damage from the previous Capcan, as well as a little bit of tick damage from that smoke canister. Just waiting for his teammates to get him some space to do something. The Maestro pushing very aggressively up onto stage. Skeeto going to take that kill. Hits his teammate a little bit in the interim. He saw the head of the Capcan, but can't quite find the damage. Runs out of bullets, and Capcan's gonna run away with his life. Very fortunate that the bullet was there, but he's gonna walk through the Capcan trap and die.
Activating Selma sequence.
Well, that's putting him in a 4 vs 3 as the deployable shield is being rotated by the smoke now. Carly gonna hit the leg of the Bandit, doing quite a lot of damage, but not enough for a down. Probably thinks that the Bandit's injured because, Carly's rifle does injure people when you shoot them, but not in the leg, unfortunately. And I think the defenders are in a pretty good position here to see this round out. The frag grenade being prepped by Cheveru. Can't quite land it right. The Bandit is still chilling up there. Sorry, the Capcan's still chilling up there, but the Bandit will find a quick kill onto him before being refragged out by the Ace. Capcan finally being droned out in the 3 vs 2. I would hope at this point that he falls back a bit and just kind of gives up the upstairs, falls back to site and gets ready for the denial. But it's also quite a risky thing to do on this site because of how hard it can be to swing onto the stage. He's just playing prone, waiting for someone to push into him. The defenders kind of have all these angles on lockdown at the moment. Smoking it out. can't land the shots, and as Ace goes for the plant. Carly watching from above. This is a wonderful attack.
The bomb diffuser.
Wonderful defense. The smoke swinging to the back of the staircase. Ace finds the kill. Smoke's behind him. He doesn't realize he drops off of the stage.
Eyes on the diffuser. Attackers need to
And that
protect
smoke playing the kill. The 1v1 now. The SMG 11 versus the SPSMG 9. Carly going on a long rotate here, all the way around to split. No one's on the default cam! No one was on the default cam! The default cam was up, and no one was on it. You have 4 dead. If that cam is up, there should be someone on it. If someone is on that cam, Smoke can sit fairly comfortably behind the table and try and get a plant down, or at least have some sort of inclination as to where the Carly's coming from. Well, we're going back to kids. They won it out last time. But they won it out because Psycho was hiding inside of the tower.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs.
Well, let's see if they can push this game into overtime. It's currently match point to ParkEs Academy. Okay, it's interesting. You know, running downstairs, making some impact holes, I think. Gonna try and give a bit more support to this pulse playing downstairs, it looks like. They're reinforcing off some of meeting, at least.
10 seconds left.
Trying to put a bit more of a fortress downstairs so that they can use that Oryx to come up the hatches. They can use the pulse underneath to gather the intel. Pulse starting back downstairs in laundry again, so we want to see here. ParkEs putting a good push onto attic, getting it open. There's nothing really contesting it. Psycho back in tower, trying to go for a bit of a spawn peek, and he's going to catch Shabru. That puts him in a really good position to secure this round now. Done a good job, and now he's fallen back inside of meeting. Interesting that they have that whole wall opened up so that they can open up the site. Shabru clearly not very happy with that, but Skeeto's going to find him on the bottom, but Tomcat quick to refrag. So it puts him in a 4 versus 3. Better than a 4 versus 5. They're now starting to move into tower. 3 of them left at this point, and they still have the Carly and Ace who they would need to get this wall open. And they're gonna get so now, hopefully. Yep, okay, we're gonna see the Selmas, 2 sets of Selmas being used, opening up all of the attic wall, trying to give themselves a bit more to play with. Yuno still on his cams, just trying to check when they're coming in. Spots the drone out, just shooting out the pre-fires now.
Attackers bomb diffuser has been dropped.
Tomcat with a lovely shot.
Surveying.
Well, this should be the round in the hands of the defender. 1 minute 20 on the round, which is enough time for something to happen. But I don't think much will. Carly going with the extra zoom shot, still holding that angle, but that's going to be chaotic. Finding the first frag, finding the second frag. He's put his team back in a winning chance. They have control of attic. Oh no, Maestro's hugging this. This is either going to go really well or really badly. If Maestro isn't careful, he could get peeked out, but if Carly peeks unprepared, then it's going to be a free round. The drone checks it and spots him out. This is Maestro swinging back round now. Carly missing with the rifle. Still knows that Maestro's in that spot due to the late pre-fire. He's going to find the swing and finds the Maestro. Oh, 1 versus 2. Shady. Can you keep your team in the game? The Zofia takes out the deployable shield. He's hidden away. They don't quite have his location pinned down. There's a player in attic and a player in trophy, but he's going to run onto the player in Trophy, and it's Rory and Shady back in their 1v1. The bitter rivalry is Shady is using his first smoke canister prone on the ground, but Rory has control of the site. He's moving into Attic. They're playing a lovely game of Ring Around the Roses here.
5 seconds remaining.
Here's the shot in Attic, and he's going for the plant. He gets him on 0 seconds! He gets him on 0 seconds. Rory with 2 insane clutch rounds. 2 insane clutch rounds.
Could be the sunset, or just the look in your eyes that shines so bright. Reach out over the ocean waves and try to come to life. Don't let go of the bright blue sky, because the future's looking far too light. Are you ready for a long dive ship to set sail and carry me through the starry night? Dream of me whenever you are feeling oh so lonely. Try to leave your fears behind. We are locked in an orbit racing round the dots of moonlit worlds that make a light. Keep your eyes on mine. Touchdown on the surface of my heart. The feeling's never gone. A brave adventurer like me remembers everywhere that I've come from. Keep your feet to the vacuum sky, 'cause it's surrounding us out here. Follow the trail of the stardust of the ones that came before us, and we'll see what we've always been there. Dream of me whenever you are feeling oh so lonely. Try to leave your fears behind. We are locked in an orbit racing round the dots of moonlit worlds that make a light. Keep your eyes on mine.
Are we live?
We are
Live.
live. We are live.
So?
My webcam isn't working. As
Oh,
Nice.
that's a sad face. So we're joined here by Park. Would you like to introduce yourself to those of you who
Hello,
may not be aware?
I'm Park. I own the org Parks and Esports, and I'm here to take the interview today.
So obviously not in the server today, but do you have a first question? I think is quite an important one to get out there. On Oregon, the guys lost 4 rounds on defense when trying to hold the basement site. Do you have any sort of input into what that might be about? Or
I'm going to be real with you. This whole time today, we was completely free-handed. We had 2 trials on deck. Sorry, I thought it was 3. It was actually 2 trials on deck, and we had to just go for it. And we had no strategies, which is why we did better on attack because we just played like monkeys. And I apologise to Valhalla now because I hate that style of play, but we had to do it in order to achieve a win.
no, I mean that's fair enough. If you don't have that coming in, you're going to have to try and play something unorthodox, play something that you can't read into. And like, I mean, you saw a couple rounds. I think it was the third last round. You just see Skeeter just running up Armory stairs, getting 2 kills on the trophy door. Unfortunately, the Psycho wasn't droned out on the top of tower, which I think is just a bit of a mistake. You know, it shouldn't really be happening, but it does happen sometimes, and you have to account for that. But you know, I think it's just run and get a double kill. That's a round you would win in another world.
Of course. I would like to display to the stream that we are going to look into Skato's Moss files as he was a trial for us today. And depending on the verdict, we'll maybe or maybe not change this matchup. And if, I'd just like to say this publicly, if he is cheating, I apologise to Valhalla and everyone on the stream. I did not know, and I do apologise like deeply.
But on the other hand, if he isn't, then everyone, you know,
If he isn't, then fat
let's-
dubs in the chat, lads. Like, come on, let's keep it
Yeah,
happy.
yeah, if not phenomenal performance, especially
Yeah,
some
exactly.
fantastic plays.
Yeah. What did you think of today?
Yeah, I mean, I thought both teams played very well. I think obviously Parkinson's taking the win is a big thing, but I'd agree both teams seemed unprepared on their defenses. I think that's something that you can attest to on the side of your guys, and I think Valhalla aren't going to deny anything on that side. On both maps, Clubhouse and Oregon maps, which you often see a lot of defensive dominance, and neither team had the preparation on terms of like Clubhouse. Rafters. Neither team were able to hold rafters. I mean, is a Clubhouse a similar position again, or is that just more like just not being on the ball at the beginning of the day?
No, that was the same thing. Freehanding, like you saw some rounds. Maestro was up in lounge when was bottom floor. You know, like, I didn't even know what was going on, to be honest.
I mean, when he was in lounge and bottom floor, I wouldn't be complaining if he can pull that off consistently.
Yeah, you saw it, didn't you? You saw him. He's a gunner.
He a gunner indeed. Yeah, that's what we're getting in the chat. But yeah, I mean, he didn't hold back. He let it loose.
Yeah,
you can see what he's doing with it. It's fantastic work.
Of course. It's quite interesting to look at today because we came into this merely expecting a loss due to the fact that we didn't have 2 trials, but the boys persevered. I'd like to shout out to them all. You know, I've done really well. Also played without a main roster player today because he couldn't make it today. So we had to bring in, obviously, as I said before, 2 trials.
Yeah, huge kudos.
Very proud of him today, though. It was a good old performance.
Yeah.
I'd like to ask, where does that put Parkinson's now?
So they have a game against QT Gang, and then the winner of that proceeds through the losers bracket. So it's still on
quite a big game. Quite a big game.
Yeah, so important to win. Another important matchup ahead. So based on today, probably try and get a more consolidated roster. I'd assume.
Oh yes.
Try and move forward.
We'll have, as you saw, we missed Evesy today. Evesy wasn't here. He had some personal stuff to deal with, so he'll be back. So we should hopefully have a confirmed roster by next play, which means that we should be able to properly go for it. And we'll show you we're actually a strategy team and not a monkey team.
Lovely to see that.
Yeah,
lovely to see.
Give you some good old gameplay.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there was too much concern. I think obviously the immense amount of monkeying around we saw today, there's just some entertaining rounds.
Yeah, I mean, it gave you
an entertaining match.
It gave you some nice clips, so I'm guessing.
Yeah, I mean, it was an entertaining match nonetheless, and going forward, I mean, if we can see the raw like mechanics that we saw in some of these monkey clips, beside like with some strategy to go alongside it to support them up, that's never gonna hurt anyone, is it?
Yeah, you love to see it, didn't you? Adds a bit of spice, as they say, don't they? It's like
Yeah, it does add some spice.
adds some spice.
So, do you have anything to say to people going forwards? Anything you want to
Yeah,
throw out there?
so as I don't like to end on this note, but as going back to it, if we do find out that he is cheating, we do hold responsibility, but at the same time, we don't want that to plague the organisation because the organisation was not aware of the fact that he may allegedly be cheating, and we apologise for the fact that that could be bring into the equation and that it ruined today's play day and stream. But if not, we are happy to take him for the win and come on Parksons, up the lads.
Up the lads, indeed. All right. Well, what is the next game on the schedule?
It's the semi-final game tomorrow. Team Sequence Academy versus Prosium.
Okay, so that is the next game for you tomorrow then, and well, that will conclude rather brief interview, but we have much more insight to add into that one. Just
Yeah. When will these MOS files be checked?
As soon as possible.
Yeah. We'll keep you posted, and we'll keep everyone else posted as well on what's going on. Try and clear it up. Hopefully, it all comes back clean because it'd be a shame. But
Yeah, we're hoping so. It's a good old stream though today. Good old fun to watch.
Yeah, well, hope you all enjoyed your evening, and yeah, I mean, we don't really have much more to add on to that, but it was a lovely game of Siege played today. We'll keep everyone posted on the less positive things, but hopefully, everything's all right, and we'll get back to you and look forward to the next match.
Yeah. Obviously, thank you, Starlex League, for having us.
Silex Pog.
Oh, well, are we off?